date is 1966. The weather is hot, humid, sticky. Imagine you're a U.S. soldier cutting through the underbrush of Vietnam. And there in front of you, in the dark, enemy troops all around you. Everyone's being quiet, trying to sneak through. But there in front of you, you see plain as day something that you just can't describe. It's big, its eyes glow. It came from the top of the trees. You nudge the man next to you. He sees it. The two of you open fire, and nothing's there. No body, no body parts, no blood, no nothing. Just a waste of bullets. Well, that, folks, is what our story tonight is about. And we have a special guest who fought in the Vietnam War, and he's going to tell us his experiences. So stay tuned in and listen to the show. Thank you for tuning in to the Strangescapes Encounter podcast, where we find you strange, unusual, and possibly true stories of creepy shit. I'm your host, Adam.
I'm Rana.
And I'm Soraya.
And we have a special guest with us today, Michael, who fought in the Vietnam War, which if you listen to the intro, you will know that's what this is about. Weird, creepy stories of, the jungle. So, say hi.
I'm Michael. Hi.
That was super intense. So I guess get this thing going. Like, when did you enlist in the army or did you get drafted? Like, give us some background on how you got there in the first place.
Well, I was drafted when I was 17. Well, no, I wasn't 17. I turned 17 after I said I do, or I will. I think it was I do. And then they sent me to a foreign country for my basic training. That foreign country was Texas. And boy, let me tell you, those people down there do not consider themselves the United States.
Well, they are a country by contract.
Yeah,
well, they're a state by
Yeah.
contract. They
Yeah.
are a country.
But they haven't renewed it for a few years now.
Yeah, I do remember actually reading an article on it, and I was like, huh. I guess, they are a part of the union, but not necessarily a part of the union. Like, it's contractual, a part of the union.
Federal government doesn't have any say over them. They try to, but they don't. The company that I was in had 256 men, enlistees. Out of those 256, there were 4 of us that were American that spoke English. The rest of them was everything else you can think of. I had quite a background there.
Well, you barely speak English yourself, so
Yeah.
there's that.
Then they sent me to AIT to learn how to do radio. I didn't have to learn much because I was a ham operator, and I figured that's probably why I got that MOS, because I was already a radio operator. And I lacked 1 word a minute of being able to go to Germany.
Oh, man. That was the most important word that you've ever not done in your life. Like, that could have changed your whole perspective of Vietnam.
Yep. I wouldn't have went to Vietnam.
Well, yeah, but you still would have been enlisted during that, so.
Yeah. But the day after, I passed it off, but that didn't count. And the other kid that was with me that was, or in that group, that was a ham operator. Of course, he passed it off. And it was one would pass the next word, the higher word, then the next one, and it just went back and forth. And he actually got it passed off the day before, and I tried and couldn't, but the day after, I passed it off with no problem.
It's always how it goes, it seems.
And that didn't count.
That did not count.
The moral of the story.
Yeah.
A day late and a word short.
Yeah. And that got me sent to Vietnam.
Like I say, it was the most important word you've never had in your life.
Yep. To start with, I was put out in the field carrying a radio on my back. And during my course, my tenure out in the field, I lost 4 radios. They took the bullet for me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here. But I lost 4 radios.
Are they that heavy of a radio? Like the whole unit or what? Like, does it replace if you were carrying a pack, does it replace the whole pack? Or?
Oh, no. No, they're only about 4 inches deep, 14 inches square. There's not a lot to one. And then, of course, you got your antenna sticking up, and that's what Charlie looks for. That antenna.
So they have a transformer in them? I'm just curious, like what exactly stops a bullet inside that radio?
Pieces of radio. Yeah, they don't have tubes in them. They were solid state.
Oh, okay. So it did have some meat inside of it.
Oh, yeah. And it's what took the bullet. So I was out there for about 7 months out walking the field.
And so what time in the war was this? Like what date?
I got over there. I actually got over there November 10th it would have been October. Yeah, October. And I extended because when I got over there, they were still bombing the north. And consequently...
But what year?
69.
Okay.
Or 68. So I spent that part of 68 and lacking a week of 69 over there. Because I extended because I thought, hey, this is not that bad.
Now, didn't we pull out in like 72? Okay, it is 72.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it was like right there.
Yeah, 72 was really bad. I went through one Tet offensive that was pretty bad. And we went through several villages, not My Lai, but several other villages that they complained about. There was one time that 250 some men went into a village. Now that was My Lai because we were supposed to secure it so that the dignitaries, the senators and everybody that was investigating it could go over there and see what it was and how peaceful it was. Well, there was 42 men left in the field that night. That's peaceful.
Yeah, that sounds super peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. So that they could send them in and, nobody get shot. Because we couldn't have one of them getting shot, We were expendable, but not them. Their government.
Well, I suppose it depends on who you ask if they're expendable or not.
Totally expendable.
But while I was out in the field, we would a lot of times come upon VC, which were regular Army North Vietnamese, or, villagers that were pretending to be VC. And if we ever caught them, they would all tell the stories about these creatures that would get us. That our days were numbered because those creatures were going to take us down.
And did you ever just think to yourself, like, they're just full of shit? Like,
yeah.
If I was them, I'd be telling stories of that shit too. Like, you're like, you know, a million miles away from whatever fucking farm you just came from in the jungle of hell. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'd be telling people stories too. I'd be like, yeah, the jungle demons out there. You better believe it.
Yeah, well.
Like, you hear that? You hear that? You hear that monkey out there? That's a demon. Blah.
Yeah,
Oh
actually.
my God.
You caught
I did.
Actually, we did encounter monkeys. And they were mean as crap, let me tell you. They were cunning.
Well, I mean, monkeys are pretty smart. I mean, in our other podcast, we actually did an episode, and it was about a monkey. Where was that, guys? What country was that in? I'm just getting blank.
Are we talking about the one that
steals shit?
Steals shit?
Yeah, it stole money, and then it was flinging money at people on the street.
Like the eastern side of the United States.
Was
I
it
feel
here in the U.S.?
I want to say.
It sounds about right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I mean, you know, and that was just a little monkey.
Well, some of them over there got up to 6 feet tall. Some of the bigger ones. And they would try to attack us. They would try to spoof us. They would try to do all kinds of things. And they would get opened up on. Next morning, you'd find a body.
Oh my God.
But there were times that
10,000
some of
rounds
them
later.
would say they were seeing something that looked out of this world, and they even opened up on them. And there were some of them that was between the ones that were out guarding and the ones that were laying low, thinking they were protected, that got opened up on. Those things, whatever they were cunning also.
So I mean, you know, before, like, you saw one yourself, right?
And I was out when I saw one.
And I mean, you weren't on acid when this happened.
Oh no!
I gotta ask.
Gosh.
I mean, I gotta ask. Like, you know, like, I mean, were narcotics
It is the
involved?
60s.
I mean, it is the '60s, and it was Vietnam. I mean, like,
Well, there
Had
was a
to
lot
cope.
of them.
you know, like LSD. I mean, like,
I don't know what some of that shit was, but there was a lot of them.
so I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that, like, some of the people that said they saw these things, I mean, were they on drugs? Like,
You question it.
yeah, I mean, like, I would. I mean, if I was there and dude bro just opened up on nothing, I mean, I'd be drugs.
But myself, I had a pair of binoculars. Not everybody had binoculars because they didn't have enough to go around. But since I was a radio person,
Man, you guys are lucky you had guns. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Like, I actually read this article a couple years ago about Vietnam and how it was, like, first off, American troops used more ammunition in Vietnam than, from their figures, than everyone in World War II put together.
that's right.
Holy cow.
Oh my God.
I mean, they shot at everything.
If it moved, it was dead. There was a body.
And also, it was one of the single bloodiest wars. I mean, I don't have the numbers like in my head, but it was a lot. I mean, it was like right under what we lost in World War II.
Yeah.
And I want to say the only other American war that came close was the Civil War.
Yeah.
So I mean, huge casualties, and that's not even counting the MIAs, which don't actually affect that number. They're in their own little group over here. And there was a lot of MIAs in Vietnam. More than any other war before it.
Since.
Yeah, or since.
Right.
Like, just missing. Like, I mean, no one found them.
Well, there'd be times that somebody'd start yelling that there was something out there, and I'd be back with the captain or lieutenant, first lieutenant. Once in a while, be a second lieutenant. And there was a 2-week period that I had a captain for a commander. And they'd holler back that there's something out there, and then they'd get opened up on, and come morning, we were missing at least one person. And they just list them as missing in action and say that Charlie got him, But all the guys around where he was said it was not Charlie. They said it was other things. So they did kidnap people. What they did with them, only the Lord knows. I suspect they ate them.
Yeah, I mean, that's like basic, like.
Yeah.
Days hungry.
Yeah. You gotta feed the jungle demons. They gotta eat too.
Sacrifices
Yeah.
to the jungle demons.
Okay, so when you saw one twice.
Well, I saw two different ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you saw it two different places.
The one time I was out in the field after it got to be my turn, and they didn't let me go up very often because I was the radio operator. So I was shielded from a lot of seeing that stuff firsthand because they wanted the radio operator alive. And
You are their way out.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you call in airstrikes right there.
You
like
got it.
10,000 rounds. We still haven't killed whatever's out there. We need to bomb it. That's the next thing. We need more.
Pick me up.
Like all of that out there. Just blow it up.
Well, after I got out of the field and into what was a talk, but then I was put out in the field there too, mountaintop where there was only 5 of us on the whole darn mountaintop. And there was one time there, we were 2 miles from the Cambodian border, and I heard a noise. And the other guy says, "Oh, you don't hear anything." But I could hear it. So I got my own binoculars, and boy, I scanned the horizon, and I'll be darned, there were 3 Russian tanks coming in. So we let them come in. I called the main talk and asked them if we had any tanks up here. And he called somebody, come back to me, and he says, "We have no tanks. Those ain't ours." So they sent out a spotter. It looks like a P-38, but a lot smaller, that they use for spotting.
Or they did. Now it's drones.
Yeah.
I'm just
Back
saying.
then it was human eyes. So he came out there and circled it, and of course they started firing on him. And he got out of the way and called in some jets. And we bombed the crap out of those 3 tanks. 4 people lived, believe it or not.
And so is that where you saw it the first time?
No, just before that.
Okay, so just before that.
Mm-hmm. Just before that, about 2 or 3 weeks before that, I was still out in the field. And I guess for a last hurrah, they wanted me to stand guard. Some of those guys were kind of mean, if you want my honest opinion. Just because I was getting out of what was the field, but there was no place that wasn't the field in Vietnam. No place. And I had to stand guard. And I'll be darned, I'm scanning. I thought I saw something moving. And I'm looking. And I saw, it looked like it was black. It could have been green. It could have been blue.
And so were you using binoculars or?
Yeah, but low light vision binoculars.
Okay.
It was a starlit night. In fact, I think the moon was even out. There was enough light that those binoculars let me see what was out there. And it kind of shimmered, almost like you have said about the predator. But it was, I could see it. And it had a big head, quite tall, and it either had ears or horns. Now, I'd say they were probably big ears. But they were either ears or horns. I didn't even call it in. I didn't even ask. I had a 79 millimeter weapon, and I had beehive rounds for it.
Now, is that a grenade launcher?
Yeah, it's a grenade launcher.
Okay.
Let's just
I mean,
call
just-
it what it is. That's
Well, yeah, I
Adam's.
mean, well, just for our listeners, I mean, like, that is a grenade launcher.
Yeah.
It shoots Like
it's
a
about
3-inch.
5-inch,
Okay.
and it's about 1 inch and something in diameter. But I let it have it, dead center. And that beehive round, later they actually outlawed it because they said it was inhumane.
Because anything about war is humane.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I always carried them and white phosphorus on me. I did not carry the standard that had the lead balls like a shotgun shell.
Right. Now, beehive rounds, they have like a fletching in them, right?
A pin. And that pin breaks as it goes out and turns into more pins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It turns into a bunch of needles, basically.
Exactly.
Ew. That's crazy.
They're pretty
And
nasty.
if nothing else, it would have pinned it to a tree.
They were originally designed for brush, actually, for fighting in dense vegetation, because, like, believe it or not, sometimes bullets will
go here and there.
Yeah, I mean, like vegetation. Yeah, there it is. You just pulled up a vegetation will actually deflect around. I mean, I know it sounds stupid, like a big leaf on a tree actually can change trajectory. And so they came up with these beehive rounds, and they've actually got something now that's similar that works. It's like a canister is full of fletching, and they go out like needles. But because for whatever reason that kind of projectile isn't nearly as susceptible to being, its trajectory being changed by like a leaf or a plant or something. It'll just poke through it.
It pokes through it.
Which
a bunch of times.
Yeah, you'd think a bullet would, but they did a lot of studies in Vietnam. And surprisingly, bullets are deflected. I mean, not stopped, obviously, but just, it can get moved just a little, and it's enough that you miss.
I loved those rounds. To me, they saved my life. But the next morning, of course, the guy sent somebody up immediately to see what I was shooting at. And I told them what I saw. And they thought that I was on drugs. I said, no, I don't use those things. I am not on drugs. I saw what I saw. So he went back and told the captain. The next morning, you could see where my round went, and it disappeared. You could see where it cut through the brush to start with, and then there was nothing. Like that round disappeared.
Like it hit something?
Like it hit something, but there was nothing there. Not a thing. Not a thing was there.
I mean, like, no one tripped over anything invisible, right? No. I mean, like, did you just walk over there, like,
and kick it?
Yeah.
No. And the last time I saw one, I was down to where I only had about 4 or 5 months left in country. And I was repairing the radios at that point. And I had to take my turn out at the bunker. And I didn't get out of that there at all. So every so often I had to be out there.
Now this is where you were repairing radios, you said?
Right.
So it's more of a like a depot.
Well, we called it the rear. But
it was just less chance of getting shot in Vietnam.
There was just less chance, yeah. But it wasn't null, because that same bunker is where I was killed. So it wasn't that you didn't get it. But I was out there, and there, the Commo bunker, we had a Starlight scope, and we had a 60. And we had them mounted on a 3-foot wall. And it was about 10 inches thick in kind of a U shape around the edge of the bunker on top of it. So the 60 was mounted, almost in the center. And then we put another mount for our M14 with the scope on it. And we could looking straight out from our bunker, we could see the village that was there. And there was concertina wire, probably 2 or 3 rows of it on their side. There was a barbed wire fence on the other side between them and the concertina wire. And then we would put claymore mines in there with trip wires, so if anybody tried to get through, they'd trip the wires, and Mr. Claymore would help destabilize them.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And then there was about, probably 75 feet from that last row of concertina wire to the next row, which was on our side, and there were about 3 rows of it, and we had trip wires and claymore mines there also. But we had to position them different so it didn't get us. And I spent a lot of my time when it was my turn looking through that scope, and scanning it, trying to see if I could see anything. I was just paranoid. And for the most part, all the time I was ever there, I never saw anything. This one night, though, I was sitting there and I was scanning, and I swear there was nothing there the one time I was scanning. And about 5, maybe 10 minutes later, I'm scanning it again, and danged if there ain't something out there.
Now, a starlight scope it's infrared, right? It is a type of night vision.
It's night vision, but it's green.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's night vision, green. And I studied that thing. I never took my eyes off of it after I saw it. And to me, it looked like it was crawling like a darned lizard. Like they were trying to keep as low to the ground as they could. I thought it was Vietnamese. I thought he was trying to come through the fence. Well, they had issued orders that we couldn't shoot anything. You're in a war, and you can't shoot anything.
Well, that's how you win them.
Yeah.
We just haven't gotten the memo.
Well,
it's funny because like I'm actually friends with quite a few vets from several different wars. Like this is just like one particular thing, but this one guy, he was a paratrooper, and he saw a lot of combat in Iraq, and I mean he's got crazy stories. But like that's always his thing. He's like, yeah, we'd probably win it if I could have shot somebody. It's like people could shoot at us, no problem.
Yeah.
Like he's always telling me that. It's like, yeah, no one had to ask if they could shoot at us.
Yeah, but we did to them.
He's like, but by the time we got the green light, he's like, it was all done and over.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those cases, and I did not call it in because I had said things before and they just brushed me off, and so I didn't call it in. I just took my old trusty 79, put a white phosphorus round in it so that it would do damage no matter what. And I hit it dead on. But it disappeared. It was not there the next morning.
But did you see it like after you'd fired? I mean,
no.
You didn't see it again?
I did not see it again. After I fired, it was gone.
Not through the scope, not
No.
anywhere.
And that scope, of course, they weren't real powerful. They were only like about 5 or a 10.
I was going to say, I mean, night vision was really engineered during the Vietnam War. That's really when it started making some headway with actually being able to see something.
Well, we had in the center of the compound, there was a big old mountain. And we had different things up on the mountain, relays and a big old tower so that somebody could look out with a starlight scope there. They had a big one. It was about a 15 or a 16-inch lens on it. It was a big one. It took 2 men to set it up. And he swore he never saw it, but was he looking when I was looking? How does anybody know? But he swore he didn't see it. But
Yeah.
I did.
Like, were you looking in the same direction, man? Like, you can't miss this thing.
Exactly.
And so did that one look as big?
Oh, yeah. It's strung out on the ground.
So, I mean, you just thought this thing was like Arnold Schwarzenegger Vietnamese or what?
Yeah. And you could see that it had a long nose.
Well, I'm just wondering. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah. He was slithering to come over, you know. But I don't know how he got past their fence, our concertina wire, and our trip wires, and was in the center there when I first saw him. And then after I fired on him, he disappeared. And still didn't trip no wires or anything. Not a thing. Of course, they came down there wanting to know who fired that round. And I had to hide my 79. And they knew that it was a 79 and it hit, and they knew that there weren't very many
floating around.
Yeah. So he was there for quite a while chewing me out. But I didn't care. You know, I was in a war, and I thought it was going to get me. Yeah, the other guys, they were out on acid or drugs or whatever, down in the bottom, protected. I wasn't. I was doing what I was supposed to do. And I had to watch take some of their shifts because I couldn't get them awake. Because they were all passed out. I experienced that one other time, and they wouldn't do nothing to the guys that were all passed out on drugs. Of course, they got killed that night, too.
Well, because, I mean, seriously, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, I can see their point of that. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, this guy's, like, he's worthless. He's fucking worthless, right? Right, but, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it, but natural selection usually will get people. I mean,
yeah, it did that night. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
and so was that like the only weird that you saw? I mean, like, so I've read some. I do a lot of reading, but I read some stories about multiple. Actually, it's a real thing about like glowing lights above some of the rice fields. Like, did you ever see that? That weren't Viet Cong.
I saw glowing lights quite a few times. But when I was out in the field, when I was in the rear, when I was up on the relay, now I was up there for, about 6 months. And I was up high enough, I was right next, within 20 feet of the tower where that big starlight scope was. And I was relaying out in the field and to the troops out there because their radios would not reach the talk. So I was the intermediate. And it was set up strictly for that. And we rotated. So somebody was on the radios 24/7. But I spent some time with my binoculars looking out there, but you don't know if it's friendly or foe when you see lights out there.
So there's this one that is actually very well documented that I read about. Basically, one group of guys, Americans, were on one side of this rice paddy field, and they knew Vietnamese, Viet Cong were on the other side, and there was lights. I think it was like to their left, right? So the Vietnamese are straight across, like we know this. They probably know that we're straight across on the other side, but there's lights on the to the left, and so they thought they were being flanked. They gave their position up. They opened up on them, and to their surprise, the Vietnamese also opened up on them. The lights, and there was like this weird. There was a lot of reports of this particular incident where both sides were like, that's not if they're shooting the same thing we're shooting and it's not us, like we know it's not us, apparently they know it's not them, then what the heck is it out there?
Yeah, I never, more than just seeing lights when I was up on the relay and sitting on my porch, looking out there, I never saw any, I never knew what they were, but you'd see a light here and there. Now, when you're out in the field and it's dark, the one thing you don't do is you don't turn on a light.
Well, yeah. Good luck seeing anything after that.
Yeah, you do not turn on a light. So when you're sitting up there and you see those lights go on and off and move and do stuff, it's like they must be the stupidest guys out there and they're going to get it. But they never did. So that's the only other stuff I saw like that.
No, well, I was just curious. Like I say, I've read a lot of stories, like not just from the American side of it, but from Viet Cong, you know?
Yeah.
And like what's really interesting is that they have similar stories as
Yes, they do.
the American soldiers. And so there's a lot of people that write Americans off as, I mean, let's face it, there was a lot of acid in Vietnam. There's a lot of drug use. But, I mean, the Vietnamese,
they were loaded on it also.
were loaded on it also, but they all have the same story. Like, you know how hard it is for everyone to have the same hallucination that matches up. I mean, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
not everyone has the same hallucination. So you can be fucked up and see something completely different. So the fact that y'all are seeing the same thing, whether you're high or not, I mean, that into itself is interesting. Like, what is it that's causing that? But, well, for any of you guys out there, you should look up the red goggles of Vietnam. That is some stories. If you Google that, it should come up with some stories that are kind of interesting. Those guys were part of an experiment with red-lensed night vision, and supposedly they saw things very similar to what Michael here has told us about, like kind of the same vein anyway. And, you know, the interesting thing is that they took those goggles. Everyone that they tested those goggles out,
They all saw something.
they
It
all
was
saw
really
something
similar.
very similar. They all opened up on it. I mean, and some of the groups that they gave these to, like, these weren't like expendable guys. I mean, they were good. They were professional soldiers, right?
Yeah.
You know, they weren't there because they got drafted. They were just
Well, they were very specific on who got the
and
goggles.
who got them. Yes. Like, these guys signed up for this repeatedly. They were veterans. I mean, they knew the jungle, right? And they saw stuff after using those goggles. Stuff that they...
And some of them went crazy, too.
Yeah.
Like after.
Afterwards. Yep, guys that were solid, like, went nuts afterwards. So anyway, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not saying that I have any theories on it. Just it...
Not yet.
Not yet. Right, exactly. But it is interesting. So if you guys want to read about that, just look up Red Goggles of Vietnam.
There's podcasts, too.
There's several podcasts about it. I mean, there's actually all kinds of weird stories in the Vietnam War. I mean, there's UFOs. There's pretty much anything that you may be interested in, you can probably find it during that era in Vietnam.
And then there's stories of creatures in those tunnels and stuff, too.
Yeah, the Vietnamese
yeah.
have those stories. So,
Yeah.
like, there is several Vietnamese guys that have wrote books about some of the crazy stuff that they experienced during the war. You know, there again, supposedly these guys weren't on drugs or anything, but, like, yeah, crazy shit in the tunnels that you couldn't get away from. And, of course, I mean, friendly fire happened because, I mean, you're in a tunnel. there's not too many places you can go.
Well, not all friendly fire was because of accidents and people not knowing where they were shooting. Sometimes they thought they were shooting something and seeing something, and then it ended up their weapons hitting, or their whatever, hitting our people instead of getting what they were after.
Right. So, I mean, you know, hallucinations, like demonic possessions. creatures on a completely different
Dimension.
light spectrum than us, which, actually is a theory because, like, your Incas, your Mayans, like, all of them claimed that if they used ruby stones, that they could see the quote-unquote afterlife. I just find it interesting that, like, those goggles were red. And to this day, at least that I could find, they don't make red night vision. Like, it's just gone. Like, no one does it.
Either green or blue.
Yep, mainly green.
Mainly green.
Makes you wonder. I mean, if it's only drugs or something.
But the other thing that's also very curious about that is that, the slow gears of government, especially during wartime, they handed those goggles out to these guys. They told the officers that were over them or the pilots not to put them on. So, I mean, that right there to me would raise a red flag. I'd be like, so why doesn't Timmy get a set of goggles? I think Timmy should have goggles too. But anyway, like, it's just interesting that they're red. They saw, I mean, some of them describe them more as gargoyles, which
That could be.
It depends on what kind of gargoyle you're looking at. Like, it still kind of fits that description. But it just makes me wonder if they were seen into, like, however they worked, if it was another dimension. Like, maybe not another dimension, but, we've proven with quantum theory that there is realities layered on realities in the same plane of existence. And so, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe you didn't bag one because it wasn't completely physically here. I don't know.
Well, that'd be a reason for your bullets not hitting them.
It really would. But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stories. And, what is even more interesting is if you dig into some of these other wars, all the Afghan, Iraqi stuff that we've done, like, there is both sides that have stories of seeing things that are like werewolves. Not necessarily a werewolf, but something like one. Well, I mean, that's kind of the same vein. I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing here. There again, no one ever bags one. We try. We should have. But nothing's there. So, I mean, same thing. And when you look at some of your folklore, like fairy folk, fae, I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe there's just people that can see a little bit further through the veil, and that's what they're seeing. And depending on what kind of equipment you're using, it's possible to make that veil thinner. I don't know. I'm just saying some possibilities of, or I mean, they could just be, witches. What? Don't shake your head at me. I saw that.
Witches like Bruno kind of witches?
Well, yeah, like skinwalkers. I mean, for
Ew.
real.
Oh, he said
It's
it.
dark. Don't say it.
I'm just saying, like,
Bad.
why not? It's possible. Vietnamese, man. Like, there could be Vietnamese witches. We don't know.
Well, what if they're just interdimensional things? Like you said, not everybody can see them. You've saw one. Why not?
What are we talking about?
Well, I guess not necessarily. It was more of the other thing. But I'm just saying, like, chances are that's probably from wherever the others are from, too. I don't know.
The upside down.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, the upside
It's
down.
The upside down.
I don't know. I mean, I saw something that had horns and was about 8 foot tall when I was a kid with wings, and it carried a sheep off. Like, I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. I don't know. Is it related? Like, are they, like maybe they're cousins. Who knows? That sheep knew it was real, though. I can tell you that. And
Not for long.
with my story, because I do have a suspicious mind, I went. I mean, I didn't go out there in the dark. Are you fucking kidding me? It was scary as shit out there. But the next morning, I went out there to that same field where I seen it, and yes, there was blood where I'm assuming it murdered this sheep. So, I mean, I don't know.
Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot like that. It did kind of look like that. It kind of had wings like that anyway. I don't know. I'm in no position to tell anyone they didn't see anything they saw.
Well, I'm pretty sure I saw 2. But I was always looking through another type of medium.
Of medium. And that actually brings me back to where I was originally going with the whole night vision thing. A lot of the other GI stories and Vietnamese stories of seeing them is not with your eyes. It is through a binocular. It's through a scope. It's through night vision. It is through some kind of optic. Yep. And of course,
I never thought about that at the time.
The U.S. Army, there were so many people that reported weird shit that they actually addressed it, and they basically were saying that it was because of the optic. Like it was like like a lens flare, and you saw a creature in there. Like it didn't actually exist. You didn't actually see it.
That's quite the lens flare.
Right. It's kind of like
as it's charging towards you. You know?
It's kind of like UFOs and weather balloons. Like who knew there was so many fucking weather balloons,
and
right?
that they couldn't fly,
and that none of them stay in the air.
None of them.
Like anytime there's a UFO, they're like, to this day, actually, just not too long ago, I want to say last year, somewhere there was like this supposed UFO crash. It was right? It was, I want to say it was Nevada. And on the news, it was a weather balloon. And I'm like, holy shit, this is 2025. Do they still use those? Like, do we still use weather balloons?
Well, they've lost a few. Maybe that's the missing ones.
Like, don't we have weather drones or something? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I think the one you're talking about was in Brazil, or around there somewhere. And after the whole village and everything saw that crash, then the U.S. Army went in and
they recovered
and
the weather balloon. They had pictures of it on the truck because that makes me believe.
It took a whole bunch of trucks to haul him off.
Yeah, and I'm like, really? Really? I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I saw that too.
Like, does this thing light up like a Christmas tree when it goes down? I mean, I'm just looking at it. I don't know. I don't think it does. Like, this isn't the Hindenburg going down. Like, does it have strobe lights on it? I'm just...
No.
I don't think...
Yeah, it does. Lots of them.
I mean, I think all they have is like a red and green or something.
Well, ours, yeah. Red and green.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a whole lot different than, 15 halogen lights on the front of it. I'm just saying. I mean, you could be fucked up on drugs and still probably know the difference between that.
Pretty good chance.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much closes us up. We appreciate you being on the show and talking about your experience. And until next time, stay strange.
Until next time.
Bye.